What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. Big up to everyone for locking in. The tour begins today, people, on our way to Singapore. Looking forward to it. And, well, looking forward to watching Arsenal play over there, AC Milan and Newcastle. But the one thing that I think every Arsenal fan at the moment is keeping an eye on is where is the new striker? Where is Victor Gyokeres? Now, we've heard two very different situations over the last 24 hours. So on Friday night, Ben Jacobs tweeted that the deal had advanced and it looked as if they were coming close to an agreement. Then we hear Saturday night via Portuguese outlets that the deal has completely stalled, that Jokeres' dad has even been upset. And the article goes on to say his dad was in tears of disappointment that his son has not been able to get this deal done and get this opportunity over the line. Now, I just want to give a bit of, I won't say insight, but just my perspective on what I think is really happening here. I think number one, Arsenal probably expect Sporting to just give up and say, okay, whatever you're offering, we'll take it. The player's desperate to move. We'll just take whatever add-ons that you're offering to Sporting Lisbon. I think Sporting Lisbon, if you look at a lot of their previous deals, they stand firm. They give you a price, they give you the add-ons. If they don't get what they want, more often than not, they will walk away from the deal. You heard the chairman say that if Gyökeres apologises, he can come back and play next season. So I think Arsenal are playing a very dangerous game. Now, I'm not saying that Sporting are easy to deal with, but I think we've got to understand that there's a lot of conflict here. Gyökeres feels like there was a verbal agreement on a fee. Verbal agreements don't really exist in football. These chairmen will change their mind really quick, and they obviously think that he's worth more than what he'd agreed initially to let him go for. Gyökeres has gone on strike. Once a player goes on strike at a football club, it tends to get messy. You've seen the Sporting Lisbon fans already holding up banners saying no one's bigger than the club. They feel very let down by his actions. He will say, I've repaid you with the goals. They will say, we gave you the platform to score them goals. So it's a very messy situation. His agent has given up 5 million to enable Arsenal to get this fee over the line. And everybody is sort of in limbo at the moment. We're going on tour with no striker. Sporting have began pre-season with no Gyökeres. Gyökeres is in Sweden waiting for the green light to fly over and do his medical. Everybody is in limbo. It feels like the only people that can solve this is Arsenal Football Club. They're going to have to give them 10 million add-ons that are easily achievable. This is the only way Gyökeres signs for Arsenal. And for me, even though Arsenal are standing firm in their beliefs, you've just spent 52 million on Madueke. So how can you not offer 10 million in easily achievable add-ons to get Gyökeres, who's a potential game changer? It is frustrating. It's annoying. We're all waiting. I'm very disappointed that he's not on that plane going to Singapore, because he is the most exciting signing of the summer. Is this deal in doubt, people? That is the issue at the moment. There was a rumor going round on Saturday evening. Don't know how true this is, but saying that Alexander Isak's agent had approached Arsenal, basically saying, look, there's a possibility here that Isak could leave this summer. Are you still interested? We know that Liverpool want him. We know that Arsenal have been looking at him for a long time. He was left out of Newcastle's first pre-season friendly. Eddie Howe saying that, he felt it was right to send him home with all the speculation. I always think when a player is definitely going to stay at a club and a manager knows that, he doesn't do things like that. Sending Isak home to let him, take his mind off the game, and that to me gives me a little sign that maybe Isak may leave Newcastle. Who knows? But maybe Eddie Howe just wanted to take him out the firing line a little bit. Um, do you believe that rumor or not? Also, something that won't help Arsenal is Liverpool are on the verge of signing Ekatike from Frankfurt. The deal with add-ons will be about 90 million euros, which will be a record sale for Eintracht Frankfurt after selling Mamouche to Manchester City. So I think Arsenal have got to be very careful, because all it takes is Sporting Lisbon to go, you know what, 73.5 million all in euros for Gyokeres. And you guys are hesitating. Ekatike is about to go for 90 million euros. They could just turn around to Arsenal and go, you know what, we want 90 million euros, and then the deal's all over the place. There's actually a report today saying that Atletico Madrid are waiting in the background to see what happens regarding the Victor Gyokeres deal. He's a player they like. Apparently, Berta was actually had him on the list of potential players for Atletico Madrid. So, Arsenal, please get this deal done for Victor Gyokeres. Be very careful. A couple other things to talk about before we round up, people. One is Christian Mosquera. His Arsenal actually leaked pictures of Mosquera's announcement video by accident, and then later deleted them. But obviously, people screenshotted them. His deal was delayed. He was supposed to be on the plane today, flying out with the team, but apparently there was a small complication with his medical. Not sure what that is. Was it paperwork? Was it maybe an injury? And his deal hasn't been completed yet, so he didn't fly to Singapore with the rest of the team. It's believed he's in London and just waiting to sort those issues out, and then we'll hopefully go over and join the team. Christian Mosquera, obviously Madueke was announced yesterday, but he won't be on the tour either. He's been given a holiday, obviously, because he went to the Club World Cup. Xavi Simmons, a lot of reports today saying that if Arsenal don't get a deal done for Eberechi Eze, which I think will cause a great deal of disappointment if Eze doesn't come to Arsenal, that Arsenal will turn their attention to Xavi Simmons. Again, is it because Xavi Simmons available for 60 million, Eze at 68 million, Eze has a release clause, and Palace want the majority of the money up front? Will Simmons' deal actually be easier to pay? Will they give Arsenal an easier payment plan, Klarna business? Obviously, Arsenal had problems trying to get Sesko out of RB Leipzig, but maybe Xavi Simmons would be an easier deal to get done. It feels like Leipzig are more open to the sale of Xavi Simmons than Benjamin Sesko. Who would you guys rather sign out of those two? I'm actually a fan of Xavi Simmons. I've always rated him. But personally, I would rather sign Eze just for his power. And I think his game has stepped up a lot in the last year. But I do like Xavi Simmons, but I would rather take Eze. Arsenal did depart on Saturday afternoon. They beat Watford 3-0 in a friendly at the Arsenal training ground. And they flew out to Singapore in the afternoon. A couple surprising faces. Sambi Lokonga made the plane to Singapore. Arsenal extended his contract by a year, and they've taken him over there. You would think that is to probably get him fit to try and get him a move to another club. I don't think Sambi is the player that we want in the squad next year. No Fabio Vieira and no Reece Nelson. You would expect those two to be looking at moves. Fabio Vieira is being linked with a move to Parma at the moment in Italy. Carlos Cuesta, the former coach, is the Parma manager. Arsenal want 20 million euros for Fabio Vieira. Parma willing to pay maybe a little bit less, around 15 million euros, which is around 13.5 million pounds. I think Arsenal will have to take a hit on Fabio Vieira. In terms of Reece Nelson being linked with a move to Fulham, Fulham willing to take him on loan. Arsenal want an obligation to buy in that deal if they are going to let him go. So the tour will begin. I'll be doing videos over there if I can get good internet. We'll be doing some live streams as well. I'm actually making this video late on Saturday night, heading into Sunday morning. I was watching the boxing, good fight, Usyk masterclass, and so forgive me if I look a little bit tired, people. But listen, I'm tired of waiting for Gyokeres to sign for Arsenal. Ekatike probably going to sign for Liverpool. Rashford's going to Barcelona. All these players making moves. We're still here negotiating Gyokeres when the tour's beginning over 2.5 million euros. Why not pay the money and have him on the tour? New kit's out Wednesday. First game against AC Milan. Gyokeres playing in that game, you would sell so many shirts. I think they've missed a trick. Big up to everyone locked in. Hope you're all well. Appreciate your support as always. Hit the like button and subscribe. Look out for all of the tour content. Big up to everyone for the support, the whole C Unit community, and I will see you all soon, people. Bless.